This Valentine's Day, celebrate the one you love the most with Hallmark cards at Walgreens. Valentine's Day is the best time to send your favorite person a reminder of just how much they mean to you. A Hallmark card is a super simple and beautiful way to say how grateful you are for the love you two share. Don't forget, Valentine's Day is Saturday, February 14th. Visit Walgreens today to find a Hallmark card that shows just how much you love them. Because love lives here.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this. My name is Jeffrey J. Vechs. Toph stole my carpet ride metaphor for short shifts on our last one. If you guys listened to his on Wednesday, so I don't even know what I'm going to say now. It's not a carpet ride anymore, but I'm glad you guys are here.
Magic carpet ride.
There you go. Whatever it is.
Don't diss the carpet ride. It's magic.
It's magic. It's magical because Toph.
A whole new world. You can see a whole new world.
A whole new world. That's where I'll be. All right. Anyways, what a great movie. Return of Jafar, though. That one sucked.
No.
Anyways, back to topic. Let's laser focus in. Toph has no idea what the topic is tonight. Only I do. Toph, this is one that I didn't know how I felt when I first retired and I was coaching a U18 team.
Okay.
I had mixed feelings on this one. It's something I don't know if we've talked about on the podcast. Maybe we have once. Phones. Ooh. All right. On the road. What are you doing with them? Especially like if it's a midget team or a bantam team and their parents aren't with them, they're rooming together, stuff like that. Okay. What do you do with the phones? I know some coaches take them. I know some don't. Phones in the locker room. Should players have them? A lot of them listen to music on them. Should they not have them? Should they be in a box? What are your thoughts on phones being around the team and that stuff? Because we got to be honest. We live in a world where everybody's goddamn phone and people are on them all the time, you know? What are your thoughts on that?
I love this. Good job, Vechs. This is a really good topic.
Thank you, Toph.
I'm a little impressed right now. I'm going to start this with a story. Okay. I will start this with a story. And so I think anybody that's an adult that has kids or coaches kids now will say that this is a point of contention all the time because everybody's on their phones way too much. We're all addicted to our phones, right? What's the most important thing in life? It's the connections you make with people. Connections over technology are not the same as connections made face-to-face and in person. They're not. I know you're big on this. You Instagram post it all the time.
Oh, they're not though. Not even close. They're not even close. You're right. Like,
oh, yeah. I thought you were disagreeing with you. I'm like,
no,
what?
Dude. It's not even close.
So I'm going to tell a story. And so a lot of times, like coaching college hockey, you get on a bus after a game. You know, usually we would all watch the same movie, right? That's up on the screens before cell phones. And yes, we are that old. We played junior hockey when there were no cell phones, at least not cell phones with the smartphones and things like that. You can like text and stuff. And it's kind of silent on the bus. So we took a European trip with our Cornell team when I was a coach there one year, and we got to go play a couple pro teams in Switzerland and in Italy. And because we were over in Europe, guys didn't have any service on their phones. So it was amazing. We're driving through the landscape, mountains, whatever you want to call it, driving up and down the mountains in Switzerland, going to one of our games. And as coaches, we're like looking at each other because all we hear from the back of the bus was like, laughing and guys just like having fun, and like guys were playing board games and like playing cards and doing all of these things as opposed to like being on their phones. And they were like just having so much fun with it. So we're looking at each other and we're like, do we need to ban phones from the bus? Because when you're building a culture, personal relationships, especially when you're on the road, like the road is a big part of building camaraderie on particularly a higher level team, but also at the youth levels as well in tournaments and hotels and things like that. And so relevant topic here. I think it's a really relevant topic. I don't know if there is a right answer to this question. It's probably different for every team. I know with our team at Michigan last year, there was a rule, no cell phones in the locker room. Like, and that was from the guys. That wasn't from the coaches. The guys were like, no.
What did they do? Did they put it in a box when they walked in? Was it?
There's the dry room, right? They just put it in their stall in the dry room, and they weren't allowed to bring it into the locker room. And it's because, and that's from them. That was not dictated by the coaching staff. And because like you have to like connect with people. Connections is what builds culture. Culture is what wins championships at the end of the day. And so the more, it's a slippery slope because you don't want to like, kids need their phone. Like you can't just take it away at all times. That's not fair either. But at least having some kind of policy for it, I think is important. I think no phones in the locker room is awesome. Now, if it's game day and you're listening to music, that's a little bit of a different story because everybody prepares differently. I would love where it's like 20 minutes before you have to go out for warmups, all the phones are off, like put the phones away, type of thing. But yeah, phones are a detriment, a deterrent to building personal relationships. And personal relationships is what building team camaraderie and team culture is all about. So I think it's a great topic. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, when I first stopped playing, and like I said, I coached a U18 team. The first trip we took, Coach Barrow, who's been on the podcast, took all the guys' phones when we got to the hotel, and I was like, man, I don't. Or maybe it was he took them when we got to the rink, and then he gave them back at the hotel. But I was just like, oh, I've never seen this before. I was like, should we trust them with their phones? And then, now, especially now, this is like 6-7 years later, yeah, dude, it's kids sometimes like they have a hard time like having conversations, like literally. And it's because they're just on the phone all the damn time. They feel uncomfortable and awkward. And I have to be around others because they're used to just looking at their phone and having that as a security blanket.
Yeah, for sure. And I look at it like I'll talk to the kids here too. Like when I first became a youth coach at the midget level, because you don't deal with the phones in the locker room very much at the college level. That's kind of like a thing. Like we don't bring our phones in the locker room. But I remember coming in between periods and seeing kids on their phone. And my immediate thought as a coach was like, what the hell is more important than what we're doing, like our game right now?
Yeah.
Like, my thought was like, does this kid really care about the game if he's on his phone right now? That was like my initial thought. And I was like flabbergasted. I'm like, oh my God. Like, but then I'm like, oh wow, like he's not the only one. There's 4 other guys that are in the locker room that are on their phone right now, And so for the kids out there, like, I think like that's the vibe you're putting out there. If you're always on your phone in the locker room, especially if it's like right before a game or right in between periods and stuff, is like, do they care?
Do they care? That's what coaches think. Do they care? And even if you think you do, I would also challenge you and say, maybe you don't as much as you think you do, because unless your family member is sick or something, and there's a reason for you to have your phone in the locker room on game day, other than that, like it's on airplane mode. If you're listening to music, you're not on the internet, you're not snapping your babe, you're not texting anybody. All right. It's on airplane mode. You got your music in. And for all the coaches out there, I think the rule that Toph said, like 20 minutes before we leave the locker room, everybody is AirPods out, earphones out. Everybody's listening to the same music. Also, just from a camaraderie culture standpoint, it's getting closer to the game. Now everybody can kind of gel together. And also, like, it's kind of fun too as a team if you put together like a team mix of songs or however you guys make playlists nowadays, and make it for that 20 minutes. Come to like have a night out with the team. If it's a younger team, have a pizza party at one of the coaches' houses, one of the parents' houses. And hey guys, let's hear everybody's favorite song. We'll make a mashup for that last 20 minutes when all the phones go in the bin and we're listening to, an old school boombox, if they still even make those friggin' things. I think that helps on so many different levels in the game of hockey. Also zooming out for the kids with, having to talk to each other with no phones in their hands.
Yeah, and I might be like old man in the clouds here, but like I miss like one of the things I miss about hockey is like in between periods, like talking about the game and like sitting there and like talking to your line and like, you know, can you believe that guy did that? Like, I'm going after him, or you're like, dude, what a sick play that was for that second goal. Like,
Thanks, dude.
like,
I know that was a nice goal I scored.
it was unreal. And both you went and you took care of that guy and then you scored the goal right after that. Great job, Vechs. And so I do feel like that's what a lot like, and you know, our coaches said this to us. We're going to say it to the next generation. The generation before that is under us is going to say it to the next one. Like the amount of personal relationship stuff, every generation going down now is getting lower and lower and less and less and less. And that's why we do it. Like, that's what we miss, man. Like, that's what we miss. So like live in the present, live in the moment. You can't do that when your nose is in a phone. You just can't. We got 10 seconds left here. You got any
last thing? Don't walk into a room with your damn AirPods in. A gym, a classroom, a conversation, your parents' house. Take the AirPods out, you little idiots. Share the show.
Share the show.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.